Here's 6 signs you're addicted to pornography and masturbation. I get asked this question all the time. Gianfranco, how do I know if I'm addicted? Like, I think I might be, but I think I might not be. I just want to hear from you and just kind of see what your perspective is, on if someone is addicted to PMO or not, because I've helped hundreds of people. I mean, actually thousands of people quit this addiction for good. And I've seen a whole bunch of situations. I've seen a whole bunch of different types of addictions. I've seen it all, man. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. There are 6 things that usually means that someone is addicted to pornography. Now, if you fall under one of these 6 categories, chances are you are addicted to pornography. I'd say 90 to 95% chance you are addicted to pornography. And before I even get into the 6 reasons, I don't want to shame any single person addicted to pornography, because at the end of the day, man, 90% of men watch pornography on a weekly basis. You are not alone. And I think being addicted to pornography is something that is normalized within today's society, which is very sad, but I mean, it's the truth. You know what I mean? You're not weird. You're not anything oh my gosh, you need to be shameful or anything like that. Let's just own it at this point. Okay, now the first sign that someone is addicted to pornography and masturbation is that they can't go without it. Now, I think there's a common misconception that a lot of people who are addicted, they can't go one day without it. They can't go, without doing it 5-10 times a day. And that's just not the case. If you just can't go without it, period, chances are 90 to 95% chance you are addicted to pornography and masturbation. So if you can't go 3 weeks without it, if you can't go a month without it, if you can't go without it, period, if you can't snap your fingers and just be out of pornography and masturbation, you're addicted to pornography and masturbation. Now, you can argue that your severity of your addiction is not as bad as someone who can't go one day without it. I think that's obvious, but you're still addicted at the end of the day. And I think that's most people. They can't control themselves and they can't go without pornography and masturbation. So just off of that alone, most people are addicted to pornography and masturbation. Now, the second thing that indicates that if someone is addicted to PMO or not is if they continuously go after harder and harder content. Now, PMO, right? Porn, masturbation, orgasm is just like any other drug out there. I mean, you start by getting into the innocent stuff, a little bit of kind of things that, aren't too gruesome, aren't too intense, aren't too hardcore, right? And the more that you get into the addiction, the worse it gets, right? The more hardcore, more intense videos that you get into, right? So that's something that you're struggling with right now, that at the very beginning, what, got it done for you, if you will, it was very, very innocent, right? And now you're just getting into more hardcore, more intense stuff. As the addiction just continues to grow, that's another sign that you are addicted to pornography and masturbation. Now, the third reason that indicates to me that you're addicted to PMO, and if you do this, chances are you're very addicted to, not very addicted, but you are addicted to PMO. Now, if you've ever done this in your life, if you prioritize pornography over other things within your life, to give you an example, if your friends are going to go hang out, if your family wants you to hang out with them and you decline the plans so that you can watch PMO and give into PMO, that's a very big sign that you are addicted. If you skip out on plans, if you skip out on improving your life and doing things that will give you enjoyment within your life so that you can PMO, that is a really big indication. And guys, all these things, I struggled with, you know what I mean? As someone who was addicted before, all these things I struggled with before. So if you're saying man, he is reading my mind right now, he knows exactly what's going on. I was once there before as well. But this third reason is another sign that you're addicted to PMO. Another sign that you're addicted to PMO, and this is the fourth sign, is if you look forward to relapsing. Now, this is what would happen to me, and this is a very big indication if someone is addicted or not. You would go into work, you would go into school, wherever you're at right now within your journey, and you would get a temptation in work. You would get a temptation when you're in school, and you would continuously for the whole entire day look forward to giving into PMO when you got back home. Now, this would happen to me all the time, and I couldn't think of anything else. All I could think about is pornography. All I could think about is masturbation and looking forward to relapsing later on that day when I got home. Now, if you look at pornography that way, there's a very big indication that you're addicted to pornography and masturbation, because someone who can control their pornography intake and usage, they don't really, get a temptation like that to go to pornography. They don't think about pornography over excessively. So something to keep in mind, and I think that is something that happens to almost every single pornography addict is that they continuously look forward to that next relapse and that next fix, if you will. Now, this leads me to the fifth sign that you might be addicted to PMO, and that is if you get intense temptation to go into PMO. Now, it doesn't matter if you can go 2 weeks without it. It doesn't matter if you can go 3 weeks, 1 month, 1 year without it. If you can't quit this for the rest of your life, you can't snap your fingers and quit this for good, chances are you're addicted, right? So going a little bit more into it though, if you get intense temptation, if you get temptation at all to go to pornography and masturbation, chances are that you are addicted. And like, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but at the end of the day, that's just the truth. Why would you get tempted to go into something that you don't like? You don't need pornography and masturbation. You know what I mean? So if you get temptation, like there's something deep down inside of you that wants that PMO, and that is the addiction right there. But the last sign that could be you is if you stop pursuing women or you stop pursuing a better relationship with your wife. Now, this would happen to me when I was addicted to PMO. Now, I'm currently not married. I wasn't married when I was addicted to PMO. But for me, like what would happen is I would get into so much PMO that I would slowly but surely convince myself in the back of my mind that I didn't really need to talk to women. I didn't really need to pursue a relationship. I didn't really need to, interact with the opposite sex because I was already getting everything that I needed from pornography. And I would never really realize this at the time, but I realize this now that I'm out of PMO that, man, if you go into PMO, that absolutely drains your motivation, your ambition to want to pursue women in real life. Because think about it, your brain actually doesn't know the difference between porn and real sex, right? And pursuing real women. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real intimacy versus pornography and masturbation. So now that it's getting that artificial fake intimacy, artificial fake sex from pornography, your brain is thinking that it's already done what it's supposed to be doing, right? Because as humans, in the book of Genesis, it says like it is not good for man to be alone. Like we all deep down inside want to be with a woman. We all deep down inside want to feel that love, feel that intimacy, and have a partner within our life. And pornography gives us a fake version of that. And it confuses your brain and it makes it seem as though like you've done your job within getting that partner, getting that intimacy, getting that romance, and now you're not really motivated to pursue women in real life. So those are the 6 signs that could indicate that you are addicted to pornography. And I keep saying could because there's always like a couple of exceptions out there. But if you fall in line with just one of these signs, like chances are you're addicted. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is not bad, or it is not a horrible thing to be addicted to PMO. It just means that you just made poor choices, in the past. And now like we need to fix them. We need to motivate you in order to get rid of PMO from your life. And again, almost every single person in today's day and age, especially if you're below the age of 30, like most people are addicted to PMO. Let's just be like totally honest. Most people struggle with this. 90% of men under the age of 30 watch pornography on a weekly basis. Just imagine that. Like that is absolutely crazy. But most people are addicted, and don't be ashamed if you are addicted yourself. That just means that you need to work on yourself a little bit more. But hopefully this video was helpful because I keep getting asked this question all the time. Now, guys, I actually made a video on how to quit pornography and masturbation in just 14 days. This is the most efficient way to quit pornography and masturbation. I actually left the link down to that video in the description so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But if you want the best advice, the best strategy to quit pornography and masturbation, I decided to title it Discover the One Human Desire That Allowed Me to Quit Porn in Just 14 Days. If you guys want access to that, go ahead and click the link in my description, the link in my bio, wherever it is at down below, so you guys can go ahead and watch that for yourself. I promise you it's going to be an absolute game changer on your journey. But aside from that, guys, like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.